Programming. What is programming? It's supposed to be a process of giving step-by-step instructions to a computer to solve a problem or perform a task. AKA writing some shit on a keyboard and let the computer cook for you. But there is a twist. Your computer speaks a different language from you. It's called a binary code. It's supposed to be the fundamental language of computers. It uses only 0 and 1 to present all the data, instructions, and text. Every letter, number, and picture on your device gets translated into these zeros and ones for the machine to process. Wait, doesn't that mean the computer doesn't understand the languages of coding if it only uses binary code? Yes, you're right. The computer does not understand anything other than binary code. Or is it? To make the computer understand what you are writing in the code, you need either a compiler or an interpreter. It depends on the language you use. A compiler is basically a thing that translates the whole program into binary ahead of time, like C or C++ does. An interpreter is a thing that reads and runs your code line by line, translating as it goes. To put it in simple words, the compiler and the interpreter just translate this into that. Oh hey, this looks cool. I think I will learn programming. Believe me, later you will absolutely f***ing regret it. Now, I know you clicked on this video because you wanted to watch an idiot learn how to type on a keyboard. So since and got nothing to do on this summer, I decided to learn some programming because why not? And also because I wanted to recreate one of these random animations. Like, come on, don't tell me this doesn't look good. And without any more yapping, let us begin. I started by thinking what programming language I should learn. And there are too many of them. Some of them are famous, some of them are so hated, some of them are just bullshit, and some of them are absolutely overrated. To make it easy for me, I needed to figure out what are the things I wanted to see in a programming language. First thing, I wanted to be easy to learn and not have a bunch of complicated stuff. Second thing, I don't want it to be heavy and make my computers go boom. Third thing, I wanted to be able to code many things like web development, data science, and even games. And finally, I wanted to be supported by the Mana library, because this is the whole purpose of this video. And the Mana library only works on Python. I think we all know where it will go. Python is a language that was created in December 1989 in the Netherlands. The story behind its creation is that this guy was getting bored in the holidays, so he decided to work on his favorite hobby, coding. Then he created one of the most annoying languages because of the whitespace indentation, yet one of the most known. Why? It's an easy, friendly beginner language thanks to its oversimplified syntax. Also, it's not heavy, but it is slow at the same time. If we compare its raw computation and low-level control to a language like C++, it will get humiliated. As I said before, C++ uses a compiler which runs the whole code at a one go, unlike Python which uses an interpreter which runs the code line by line. This is why C++ is more often used in tasks that require a fast calculating like games. But Python prioritizes developer productivity over machine efficiency. This is why it's more used than C++. Now, let's stop comparing these two and get back to what we were doing. After I know what I will use, I install the language itself, which you can get from the official Python website. After some setup, I also installed Visual Studio Code as my code editor. That's where I actually write and run the code, while Python itself is the thing that actually runs it behind the scenes. Now we can start. I don't know what the hell to do. So, I did what every no-brainer like me will do while trying to learn a new skill: courses. I started by learning the basics like how to print, variables, arithmetic, typecasting, how to use input command, logical operation, which is in other languages are these for and these for or, but in Python it's just like and is and or is or. Interesting. And the most important things, yet the most annoying in programming: condition statements and loops. Let's start with condition statements. It's a thing that lets your program make decisions and execute different code depending on whether a condition is true or false.
Par exemple,
If. What does the if do? Let's say we have a variable called temperature. If the temperature is greater than 13 Celsius, that means it's hot outside. And yes, it is in real life. But what if the temperature is less than 13 Celsius? What if the condition is not true? In this situation, nothing happens. Like, really, nothing. That's because there isn't any other condition. How do we add a new one? Easy. We use else if or elif in Python. What does it do? It just do the same thing as if. It just lets you make your code expand with more conditions. But what if none of these condition is true? You just use else and put an end to all this giant wall of condition. Now, I know you're wondering, where do you use this thing? Well, pretty much in everything. And also there is this thing called a nested if, which is basically an if chilling inside an if, like a Russian doll. But it's more like a thing to make your life even more painful. Why? Because indentation, as I said before, is everything in Python. There is no curly brackets to save you like in other languages. The inner if has to be intended further than the outer one, or Python is gonna sit there like, I don't know what the hell are you writing? And fixing it is an absolute fucking nightmare. When your code is small, like 5 lines, indentation is chill. You mess up, Python throws an error, you fix it in 2 seconds, life goes on. But when your code starts getting complicated, nested ifs inside loops, inside functions, inside more ifs, that's when the actual pain begins. Python doesn't just want any indentation, it wants consistent indentations. Mix tabs and spaces? Broken. Indent one line by 4 spaces and the next one by 5 because your hand slipped? Broken. Copy pasting code from a random website at 2 AM? 90% chance it's broken. You get some errors, you get even more errors, and the worst part is you can't just glance at it and immediately know what's wrong. You gotta scroll through entire f***ing code like a detective, counting spaces with your eyes. You may say that I'm overreacting, which is sort of true, but if you're a Python developer, you will understand what I'm saying. Or maybe I'm just the only one who suffers from this shit. Anyway, let's talk about loops. From its name you will realize it's a way to make your computer repeat something over and over without you having to write the same line 500 times like some kind of caveman. Instead of typing print hello 15 times because you're bored, you just tell the computer, hey, do this 15 times. I got you, homie! And it does it. No complaints, no attitude, unlike me trying to do anything 15 times. In Python there is mainly 2 types of loops, the for loop and the while loop. The for loop is like when you already know how many times you want something to happen, or you're going through a list of stuff one by one. It goes through each item, does the thing, moves to the next one, until there is nothing left. Clean, simple, doesn't ask questions. Then there is the while loop, which is more like keep doing this as long as this condition is still true. It doesn't care how many times, it just keeps going and going until the condition finally becomes false. But if you mess up and that condition never becomes false, congratulations, you just created an infinite loop. But the real question is, do you need always an infinite loop in your code? Well, sometimes yes, sometimes absolutely fucking not. The sometimes yes when you actually need an infinite loop like game loops, and I mean, or making something require an infinite loop like this spinning 3D donut, which I will talk about later. And the sometimes absolute fucking no is when you're too lazy to figure out the exit condition. So, you slap while true on it and hope for the best. No break, no condition, computer just screaming into the void. Before typing while true, ask, does this actually need to run forever, or am I just avoiding writing the part where it stops? Game loop, server, spinning donut? Cool. Counting to 10, or reading a file? You don't need to infinite. You need a condition, and you're just being too lazy. Now, if we take a look at our code, it looks messed up. Too much lines. How do we organize it? Easy. We use functions. Wait, no, not these. Functions. It's a block of code that you write once, give a name to, and then can use again and again whenever the hell you want. In Python, you create a function using the word def, short for defined, then you give it a name, then parentheses, then a colon, and then the code that runs whenever you call it. Now, here is where it gets really useful. Functions can take stuff in, called parameters, and give a stuff back, called a return value. So, instead of the function always doing the exact same thing, you can feed it different information and it will adjust accordingly. Same steps, different results, depending on what you feed it. And the beautiful part, once you've written a function, You can just call it by its name whenever you need it. One line and boom, all the code runs. No copy pasting the same 10 lines over and over across your program. This is also used for organizing your code. Instead of having one giant wall of text doing 100 things, you can break your program into small functions, each doing its own specific job, like one function that calculates something, one that prints results, one that checks a condition, and your code ends up way easier to read and manage. So, after I learned the basics of Python and also some other things like trying to accept debugging bullshit, I wanted to do some, tests to increase my coding skill by creating my own projects, but the problem is I had no idea what I should code. So, I asked the AI to give me some beginner project ideas, and this caught my eye. Password generator that generates, well, passwords. It is very simple, specifically on Python, since it have a lot of tools in the already existing libraries. We just need to ask the user for the password length, gently build a pool of every possible character the password could pull from, create a for loop, randomly grab character from that pool, make sure it is working, glue all these characters into one final string, and print it out. And there you have it, password generator. So, I wanted to do another project, not just a few lines of code that, generate a string. Then I remembered Manim, the thing that convinced me in the first place to start learning programming. So I wasted no time and went to YouTube to learn how to use the library. I mean, how hard could it be? All I gotta do is just learn the commands inside the library and everything will... Oh, um, well, shit. I didn't expect this. It turns out that there's a whole course to use the library, which, you guessed it, you need maths. And I fucking hate maths. Especially when it is a math that a random 15 years old Algerian kid doesn't understand. I mean, what the hell is this? So, since this video is taking longer than it should be, and I will end it here, maybe. So see you in the next video.
This took me a whole fucking month.